Hey citizens, welcome to the Inforunners. I'm XG Jones today with Agrid. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fairly well.
So this episode's a weird one. So this one is chips we would buy again today, right? So this is not like 5 years ago or 5 years in the future. This is today. So the point is, next week, the Billy Bob 5000 might come out, and all of a sudden it's Agrid's favorite and my favorite chip, and it changes the entire list. All right, so this is as it stands right now today.
And I've got to say, when we first talked about it, I said, easy. 10 chips. We were originally going to 10, our 10 favourite chips that we buy today. Easy. And I started going, oh man, it's harder than I thought.
Yeah, and I did it like that.
I thought.
It took forever.
First world problems. That's right.
Yeah. All right, so we do have a bonus though, straight off the bat. So I'll kick it over to the. There we go. Right, we both happen to have Endeavor as number 6, so we always go a little bit over 5. Because, you know, together it equals 10.
Yep.
But we go over in case there's some kind of double up or something like that. And it just happens to be our bonus was both the Endeavor, so we thought we'd put that in. So yeah, obviously anyone that's watched the channel for a long time knows what we're going to say on this. Highly modular, cheap as shit for what it is right now. Very hard to pass up, like given the sheer amount of gameplay you're going to get for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agrid, your thoughts?
Sheer amount of gameplay will get the price of it at the moment still at its original concept price. It's hard to pass up on it. And certainly that's why I would buy it now.
Yep.
But the reason for me it's down so low is there's still so much we don't know about it. And so there's still it's still very nebulous.
Yep.
And that's why it's not higher in my list. But
and you'll hear a lot of talk like that today, like saying the reason why this is down a list or why it's not on the list is because there's things that we don't know about it, and there might be other things that are just higher up because that's something that we're looking at right now or something like that. So again, yeah, this list is just our opinions and where we are in space and time right now. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Agrid. This was on one of our other lists recently in almost exactly the same place. So yeah, the 890 jump, Agrid.
Yeah.
Why do you like this glorified toothpick? Right.
I've got to admit, I used to hate the look of the 890 jump because it looked like Daffy Duck.
If I was down your end, I'd be like munching on the end of it, but I can't do that because
I just can't do it.
Yeah,
I like it because it kind of does capture that worker plus luxury aspect. There's a real clear distinct between where the crew are going and where the luxury is. So you go for the areas where the passengers are and it's wood paneling. You go for the areas where the crew are and it's white. But it's got oodles, for what it is, it's still got oodles of space. It's got 7 or 8 crew quarters. I can't remember the exact number. It's got 5 luxury quarters. It's got the combat bridge. There are things I don't like about it, but it's still got that aspect. And I can get 3 arrow pipes in the hangar.
Was it originally $690 or $650? I can't quite remember.
It was originally 600.
600, yeah. At that price, yeah, I can really get behind it. It's good value there, definitely. It just, like most Origin ships for me, it just doesn't have the gameplay. And it's a little bit of an unknown, I'm gonna be honest. Like it's not a proven gameplay to me, but even then, that's all it's got is just that, really. And I want them to do more, and hopefully get to see that down the road with some other professions for Origin coming. Yeah.
And you're right, it does feel like it's got no gameplay and it's empty. But I was sitting there and I was thinking, what ships do I like flying? And if I'm going just a leisurely flight, I will often take my 890 out and I'll fly it, almost skimming the planet's surface at 50 kilometers an hour and just enjoy the vista and just take it easy. And
I think we need to quote that and put that on a t-shirt. Just a leisurely flight. Right. Cha-ching! Yeah. Put it on a t-shirt. Agrid. Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, all right, my number 5 is the Perseus. I picked this up recently. I am kind of really happy. I got it like under half price. At that price, I can justify it quite a lot. I've always kind of liked the idea and thought of this ship, and the way Badgers talked about it really only just made it sound cooler and cooler. And I love the look of it. I love the aggressiveness on it. You know, I love ships that punch up. You know that, Agrid. In fact, a lot of the ships on this list punch up. But yeah, they're just ships that I enjoy at the moment. And again, you look at the gameplay we've got right now, there's a lot of combat, there's a lot of, we just start getting into cargo, got a bit of salvage and mining. They're the ships in the now, you know. And I guess that's kind of why this is on that list. I know it's not there yet, and I know it's probably not going to see this for at least 12 months. But yeah, it's just a ship that I'm looking forward to, and it kind of speaks to me like those ships where, you know, when we get a few of us to go out and we, you know, just create havoc, I can see that happening on this. Like it'd be just another one of those ships, and it's in a slightly different vein of the combat stuff we already enjoy at the moment. But yeah, I'm just kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah. No, a beauty of the Perseus is its small crew.
Yeah.
And the fact that they have talked about those guns being, I think they've said bespoke to the Perseus, but even able to have different types of ammunition.
Yeah.
And that kind of gives you that versatility for that ship. And at, you know, half price, you can't go past it. My own is in the same ballpark. I do like the idea of that small crew being able to punch up all the rest of it, but it just didn't make my list. It was kind of
you didn't buy one recently. See, I just brought one recently, so it was kind of on top of my mind, and that's why I kind of made that caveat at the start. You know, like it's how we feel right now, and this, as I said, this list in a month's time would be probably different again, or some of it. You know. So anyway.
Yep.
All right, Algrid, your next one, the Banu Merchantman.
It is. The Banu Merchantman is a ship that appeals because of what it does, the idea of what it does. It's that flying bazaar is the way it came across. And if we hadn't seen the previous, where have we gone on the Banu Merchantman and the type of things they were looking at putting in, it probably wouldn't have made it.
Yeah.
But the decor, the way they were looking at doing it, it just appealed, and it still appeals. So the 890 jump makes my list. Oh, the 890, the BMM makes my list.
I brought this the first day this ship was ever available. I've had it for over 10 years. It's not that I hate it or anything like that. It's just it didn't make my top 5, so to speak. I think it is the definition of luxury at the moment. More than the 890 jump, which is obviously you do too, because it's higher on your list. It is a ship I'm very much looking forward to. It's just, it's been there for so long for me that it's kind of just, I'll celebrate it when it comes. And like, I was really excited to see it coming when they started working on it, and it's now obviously been put back on the shelf, so to speak. And I guess I'll get hyped for it again when it comes. Yeah, but I am really looking forward to it. It's probably changed its role probably more than any other ship at this point. You know, we've had the Idris grow, but this thing went from a blockade runner to essentially like this mammoth generation, bizarre shop type style ship. Yeah.
For me, the changes to the BMM made sense. It was always supposed to be that generation ship owned by the Banu. And when it first came out, the Banu families, if they needed military, would bring their ships. So the BMM was kind of also their militia ship as well. So
yeah, but let me let me put in a reference that would make sense though, right? Because the only other two ships that are around this that make sense, it would be like this, the Raelian turning into the 890 jump.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's how big the change is. It's quite substantial. It's grown, and yeah, and obviously Alien's a cool thing about it too. I think it's probably one of the most functional alien ships we've got, and I mean by that as in it's kind of a capital. We don't really have anything alien capital that you know, it kind of stands alone now. But I don't know. Hopefully, we get more like it down the road.
Yeah, and one of the things I also liked when they were first showing that what they were doing, it was that generic or that bespoke kind of ship interior, that almost that grown sense of very Vorlon.
Like Farscape, like Farscape, yeah.
Farscape. Yeah. But yeah, very, very organic in that sense, and it appeals. Yeah.
Right. My next one is the Reclaimer. As I said, I like ships that punch up. This is really good right now. You can struggle.
Reclaimer? It looks very redeemer.
What do I call it? I call it a Redeemer. Sorry, I mixed things up. Redeemer. Sorry, I'm very tired as we record this Algrid noise. Yeah, the Redeemer. Sorry, it's very. I like the way it scales. You can go out and be a little bit difficult with one person, but it's pretty quick A to B with one person. But as soon as you start putting another person, it just scales really well in the game right now. It's a cool ship to take out with just 2 people, and then someone else turns up, and you got to, you know, it just snowballs into a little bit of fun. Love it or hate it, the functionality of it is like so on point. It's not funny right now. They may change down the line, but I also know it's got modules coming, so it's kind of like I've got it now, but I've got things to look forward to with it as well. And just the way it punches, man, it's so satisfying of a ship to be in and just watch things pop.
Yeah, and it is a fun ship to be in with friends. And it does, as you said, it does punch up.
Yeah.
It is an enjoyable ship.
Yep. All right. Your next one, Alfred, the Crucible.
The Crucible, the toolbox. One of the ships that drew me and suckered me into Star Citizen, hook, line, and sinker. This is the repair ship of repair ships. It is, when we did our ship scrutiny of it, we had to go back and make another one because as we found more information, it was like, oh, we missed that. Oh, we forgot that. Oh, we forgot. And it's just what it can do, or what they envisaged it could do, is just absolutely impressive. It's got drones. It's got repair arms. It's got plenty of storage space. It's got a hangar that can detach and function by itself temporarily. It's got, what more can I say? It is a gorgeous ship.
I own it as well. It's just not in my top 5, but yeah. I'd also added it dovetail pretty well with the Reclaimer. They're kind of inverse of each other and stuff like that.
And if I didn't know better, I'd know you've got it on your list.
That's because I do. It's the next one. The Reclaimer. Yeah, just love this thing. Just the Salvage, the aliens vibes, just the big bulkiness, industrialness of it, and just the way it sits and positions. It's not like any other ship. It almost feels like this giant beast where everything else is very, you look at something, not to pick on the 890 jump, but it looks like a boat, right? They all kind of look like ships, but this
looks like a lineman about to.
Yeah, it looks like a creature or a mechanical beast or an insect or something like that. It just looks so different from anything else. Even even the alien ship, even the Banner Merchantman looks like a ship. This looks just completely different.
It kind of got that the Raelian's got that kind of gorilla when it's landed.
Yeah,
and
gorilla. I can see the
type thing. So it's got that same type of thing. The thing I like about the Reclaimer as well is the fact that you got that alien-esque vibe when you go through it. This was another ship that I was tossing over, and but Salvage wasn't in my top. Wasn't one of the top things I wanted to do. Repairs kind of hit my wheelhouse.
Again,
but this was one of those that suckered me.
Well, Salvage is in right now, so it's always fun to get out in this and have some fun with some mates, much like the other ships I talked about. So yeah.
I did consider that. But yeah.
Next one for Algrid, the Carrick.
Yep. I've always liked the idea of exploration. And you've heard me talk on the show about, the Idris being my enterprise for going out and exploring. But this is like the Voyager, the smaller version of the exploration. It's in game. It doesn't have a lot of gameplay, but it is a nice ship to fly, and it's got the medical, and it's got the rover garage, and which you can actually get small snub ships into as well. And it's got the snub ship hangout, which can actually fit an Aurora if you don't want to take a different snub. So it's just a ship I like. I always have. So yeah.
Yep.
And it's got modules coming as well.
Yep. Again, that's what I was about to say. I was about to say it's got stuff now, and it's got stuff to look for in the future. Just kind of like what I said with the Redeemer. Really good in game right now. Still got the medical facilities that that's obviously going to change when the Apollo drops, but it's got more things to come as well, like the armor and stuff like that. So this thing's not fully flushed out yet, but it just does a lot in one ship, which makes it very attractive to a lot of people. Right, my next one is the Polaris. I'm really looking forward to this thing coming online. I know if you're looking at this and going, why does Execute have so many deadly combat ships? Because that's what's in game right now, and that is kind of one of the better professions right now to kind of do. I like going in and just venting and killing a few things, and a couple of mates tag along and you just talk and stuff while you shoot on the turret. And I think this will be no different, except you can have a friend come and join you in the hangar and fire for a few torpedoes and stuff like that. And it is our first kind of biggish capital that's a bit more towards the combat side. Like we don't have the Idris. The Idris is not going to be that far behind it. But like right now, we've essentially got the 890 jump and reclaimer, and they're the two big ones. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is you're right. This is the first, I suppose, sub-capital. It's kind of the
Mm.
the original version of what the Idris was supposed to kind of be inside. But it ticks all the boxes for it. It's got that it's got that group gameplay aspect, but it's not as demanding as say an Idris or a Javelin or the other or a Kraken or any of those other big ships. So yeah,
we've actually said a few times in the past too. This is probably going to be, and there might be other ships that pop around it. Like we've already got the Odyssey there as well, that is in this same size class. But a ship like this is probably going to be some of the most popular capital ships in the game because they're just smaller and cheaper to run. And again, being towards the attacky type nature, you'll use it. Sounds like we would say to use it to attack things, but you're going to use it with your friends, like you're going to go out on the weekend and it's going to be that little mothership where you guys go out and, support the combat and stuff like that. And then during the week, you could flip over to say something like an Odyssey. So that hangar has a lot of support mechanics. And, when you look at a bigger ship like an Idris or a Kraken or something like that, that's obviously a lot bigger again and a lot more to manage, but you still get a little bit of the taste of it here. And I think that's that cannot be underutilized. Like a hangar really makes a ship so much more versatile that anything you add into that, it just Swiss Army knives that ship. It gives even if it's just a little level, it is almost like modules in a way. You know how you can swap out a module algorithm and it changes what something does? This, you're just shopping out the small ship that's in it and it does something completely different.
Yeah.
It changes the way the ship works.
Yeah, and I think this and the Reclaimer and the Carrick and those bigger ships that have smaller, like
snubs. Yep.
No, not snubs, but the smaller crew.
Right, yep.
They're more like the party group ship as opposed to solo ship. They're the party group ships. Whereas the Idris and the Javelin and the Kraken, they're more the all raid type ships.
Yep.
So yeah, more versatile, and I think we'll see they're the Goldilocks ships, the ships that'll see more use. I think
we need more ships of this size. At the moment, it's pretty much this and the Odyssey that kind of fall into that. And I want to see some more Corvettes, put it that way. And we did a video really long time ago called Missing Corvettes, and we kind of went into a whole speculation of what we would like to see. But yeah, it'd just be nice to have CIG come out and have some more of these. I'd like to see. You know how I'd like down here with the Hammerhead and the Perseus is? There's like about 4 or 5 different ones. We need a few more up this end as well. So
yeah.
Right. Algrid's number uno is Dejavino. All right. Tell us about this, Algrid. Why the Dejavino?
I am under no aspirations that this is a ship that I will fly solo. This is a ship, but when I bought it with the idea that this gives your direction. It gives us a reason to say, why are we doing this trade run? We're doing the trade run so we can equip our Javelin. Why are we doing this? Because we're doing But it's also a ship that's got modularity. So it's got things that are coming or need to be added. It's got torpedoes. It's got the guns. It's got the, and yeah, I was looking at it in terms of org functions and org abilities and org activities. So, and that hasn't changed. That's exactly still what I'm looking forward to it for.
Anyone else smell that? It's bullshit. He owns 3 of them. Yeah, no. Why 3, Algrid? Why seriously would you go beyond the 1 of these? Because 1 is such a commitment. Do you have plans to trim back down to 1, or like can you actually justify 3 of these?
No one can justify 3. No, the first one was literally in the first sale.
Yep.
Second one was just because we were reaching that 100 million mark, and we need that. Such an auspicious amount needs to have an auspicious ship to cross the mark.
Right.
I had an option to get one, so I took that option to cross that mark. The third one is literally because it was in the pack, and I was always intending to melt one of them, and so I only have 2. And because the one hidden in the pack was out of sight, out of mind, I forgot about it. but I was always intending to melt one, but I haven't melted them because I know the second I melt it, I'll never unmelt it because it's such an expense. So
Fair enough. Meanwhile, Algrid will be taking applications for friends because he needs. Sorry. How are you gonna man them? 3 of them, crazy town, like 80 people apiece.
I told
That
you,
is
look, the fact that it's interesting that CIG actually talk about these being used by entrepreneurs as cargo ships. Believe it or not.
First 240 people that leave the comment, I'll be on your crew, Algrid will accept, right? Because that's how many crew members he needs. 240 to man all 3 of these. Not to mention how you've got to like get them all up and running. You know, like they only come with basic things to get them running.
And again, I acquired the Javelin with that in mind. The idea that it gives the org reasons to do stuff.
This is true.
And it certainly is. It was acquired with a view of this is an org ship. This is a ship that the org goes out and does its raids on. Now, could I melt all my Javelins and not worry about it anymore? Yeah, sure, because I know it's half a dozen people in the org who've got Javelin.
I don't think anyone's going to stuff you there, Algrid. Like you're out in your Aurora and someone kills you and then you come back with this for retribution.
If I try and come back with a Javelin by myself for retribution, it will soon become someone else's Javelin.
You and 79 friends will come back. It'll be fine. Like this.
I come back with 79 friends. It's great.
Yeah.
But it is a ship that is an all-grade ship. And that's what I purchased it as. That's what I'm looking forward to it as. That's what I've envisaged it as. Anyone who has a Javelin or a ship of this, even an Idris, and I'll even say a Kraken, and think they're going to take it out by themselves and be absolutely invincible is full.
What is I'm pretty sure I already know this when asking it. What is the naming convention currently for Javelins? Isn't it? It's weapons, yeah?
Weapons.
Yeah. So have you thought of a name for one of them?
No.
I think, like, I was trying to think of, like, opposite names, because you were saying how you're trying to have 2, and the 2 that came into my head straight away was Sledgehammer and Scalpel. I don't know if they work for you, but that's just what came into my head.
If I was going by classic names I'd like, it'd be a biter and beater.
What's a biter and a beater? What, like baby weapons?
No. In The Hobbit.
In The Hobbit, right. Now,
the weapons of the first stage that are found in the Troll Cave, which Thorin Oakenshield and Gandalf keep, are weapons that one is called Biter because it bit so many orcs and killed them, and the other is Beater because it beat so many orcs.
So like a club and an axe, I'm assuming, something like that.
They just smashed them. They both so bad that the orcs didn't like them. So they called them Biter and Beater. So they killed so many of them.
Let us know in the comments, by the way, what would you call your Javelin? If it's a weapon, what would you call it? What's a cool name for a Javelin? So yeah, I'd like to know. Right.
I haven't thought.
Well, again, yeah, you have time. Right, my number 1, probably no surprise to everyone, is the Kraken. I just love the versatility of this ship. It just does so much, and you can take it into combat. You can turn it into a shopping mall. It's just this flying. It's kind of got that bizarre thing with the Banner Merchantman. It's just got on a huge, massive scale. And Algrid, I have an absolutely, like, people go, oh, Drake or whatever, but I have a massive thing for asymmetrical ships. Yep. And this is just
Drake. That's the asymmetry, and this is asymmetrical.
Yeah, and I've actually had ships that I've melted, so to speak, or got rid of, like the Herald. Herald, I brought that. I went, that looks freaking sick, and then they changed it to be symmetrical and not asymmetrical, and I just got rid of it. It's the same reason I've got the Kraken. I looked at the Corsair, ended up getting rid of that. I just because I have the Redeemer and that. But getting back to this, it's just an aircraft carrier in space. It's like what's that, Space Yamato or whatever like that? Like it just kind of speaks to me. Drake it wouldn't matter to me what manufacturer it was, to be honest with you. It's just the way it's laid out, and I'd hope to expect in time, Algrid, even a Crusader capital. I'm kind of looking forward to that because of the asymmetry. I want to see that as well. So
I would say the Jupiter from Crusader. I don't think we will. I think CIG have even said we won't see it, but I'd love to see it.
But you know, Algrid, I wanted one of these for like 6
Yeah.
years before I got one. It was
Yeah.
what, 2016 they came out, and it took me to like I think, last year to get one. So it took a really long time. No, I think it was the year before that actually. So it was probably 5 years that it took me to get one.
But as you said, you know, the ability to have a privateer as a animal, it literally is a mobile space station. What's not to like about that?
Just like yours, Algrid, I'll hear one from you if you want, but I haven't settled on a name for this one. So if you've got any suggestions, Algrid, off the top of your head, let me know. Yeah, and in the comments below as well. Any cool names that you think I could call this? I've heard a lot of dad joke pun ones, like about crack and plumber's crack and all these type of things. So, but I haven't heard one that I've kind of like gone yes, you know. So, yeah, I've heard one say, what was it? So you know, it's like crack a lackin', so just call it lackin'. It's just weird things like that. Just some terrible dad puns. But yeah, you got any ideas for one, Algrid, or not?
No, and I've got one myself that I've got to think of a name. But
I think being Kraken, I don't know. I'll have a think about it. But the other way you could go is like nautical based, you know, like or sea. You know, it's a sea monster, so maybe another monster, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what the naming convention is, but obviously a pirate theme being a Drake ship might be another way to go as well. So I've thought about it a bit, but there's just nothing I haven't heard it and gone yes, you know. So
yeah, no, I fully hear you on that because yeah, but that is our, I suppose, our 6 since we had the Endeavour.
Well, five each is 11. So yeah, and the bonus. So yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let us know. I should have said this at the top of the show. I do this every time we do a top 10. Post your top 10. You know, do it before you watch ours or whatever, or after now. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, it's just a bit of fun, and we just want to share that with you guys. Is there anything you want to add for people in the comments below, Agrid?
Yeah. Do you agree? Disagree? Why? Why not? Are we in Crazy Town? Probably. I know I am. Why have we got the Turpin when we don't even have a Turpin on our list? Because it's a cool ship.
Yep, I just make cool pictures and find cool pictures. Sorry, and
although, as I said to X, the Turpin was on my shortlist. It was a ship that I really do like it, even though it doesn't have its gameplay. There's something about it that just. But yeah.
All right, with that then, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and thank you to everyone at the end of the video in the credits who went the extra mile on Patreon.
Indeed.
He's been Agrid.
He's been Execute, and we're out of here. Take care.
See you, citizens.